Hello guys, good afternoon. Here is good afternoon. I believe you might have different time there. It could be morning, day, evening or nighttime there. I am recording this video at 4 p.m. Canada Pacific time. Today is March 6th, 2022. The reason of recording this video is to share some information regarding the recent war between Ukraine and Russia. You might have some question in your mind, like me, and I believe that you have been following through some of the latest news headlines. And coming across some of the news headlines, I thought to share some information in particular three aspects. One, why this war started, why right now, why not 6 months before. Another aspect I'm going to talk on this video is how this war going to come to an end, or let me put the question other way around, how Ukraine and Russia how are they going to land on this war. And the third aspect of this war I'm going to talk about is what are the potential impacts to the rest of the world due to this war. So let's talk on the first aspect, why this war started now. First of all, let me take you to the history. Crimea was taken over by Russia a couple of years ago. The reason of Russian invasion against Crimea was that Vladimir Putin said he wanted to protect, and it was his responsibility to protect the rights of the Russian speaking minorities population in Crimea. It was a kind of like a outcover story, but I believe there were clearly two reasons of Russian invasion against Crimea at that time. One, geopolitical reason. Geopolitical reason was that Crimea was an autonomous region of Ukraine, and this is an island. And from there, by controlling Crimea, Russia could take control in surrounding area. That means his neighbors. He could control over there along the sea coastline. That was the geopolitical reason. Another reason was business and trade. Crimea is such an important part of Ukraine that most of the oil and gas plants are there. And Russia wanted to take control, and by controlling that area, he could expand his business and trade. These were the two reasons. So now the question, Russia has already taken over Crimea, then why he started war out of no reason, out of no context right now? Then why? Right now the political shift came in Ukraine recently after the present president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, came in power by winning the general election with more than 70% of the votes of the people. He replaced the previous government of Viktor Yanukovych, who was considered as a pro-Russian president of Ukraine. And right now, the present president is totally anti-Russian government, and his leadership is not going to listen to what Russia is gonna ask for, and that's why Russia is really worried at this point of time, and not only for this political reason, but also for another very important reason, that Ukraine has started building up ties with the Western Europe, with the European Union and NATO. And for the Russian, it's a fear. For Vladimir Putin, it's a fear that after being a member, Ukraine may be able to regain Crimea. Ukraine gonna develop or gonna gain some military capacities with the support of the West, especially NATO, that Vladimir Putin doesn't want. That's why he launched the war right now. He started from Donbass area, Donbass, like Crimea. There are Russian-speaking minority population there in Donbass area. And the whole world was thinking that probably Russia was only going to attack Donbass, but on the contrary, Russian troops started coming deeper down to Ukraine. And as of today, they have already controlled some of the major cities in Ukraine, including Kiev, the capital city of Ukraine, being surrounded by Russian troops. Now the question comes, how far are they going to go? So here are clear two things. First, we have to understand, for Russians, it's like they are in a very difficult situation. They are in the middle of the road, that there is no way out to go further and to come down or to come back. They have to finish. They have to fight to finish right now until there is a clear kind of like a solution or the logical end of the war. Until there is a clear dialogue of the peace talks between Russia and the rest of the world, for Russia, they're not like ethically, they will not end this war. For face saving also, they have to win this war. And from the Ukrainian perspective, it is a do or die situation for them. There is not a U-turn for them, because they have to fight themselves as a country to protect their sovereignty. And now you have seen that on the street, Ukrainians have started coming up like a militia from bunkers, from basement, from their houses in civilian outfits, holding guns and fighting against Russian troops. And it seems like they're not going to give up so easily. And the increasing interest of NATO and European Union is going up, and with their military supports, equipment supports, and the financial funding from the West, it looks like Ukraine gonna go longer in this war. Now, what is the impact gonna go to Russia if Ukraine keeps going in this war? Clearly, there are some very difficult situations for Russians. One of them, how they're gonna survive economically right now. And you know that the Western world have put a lot of sanctions, economic sanctions against Russia right now. And with these sanctions, now Russian currency ruble has fallen down by 30%. Their oil and gas, the market of oil and gas is totally down right now. The European countries are not buying their oil and gas. And you know that 1/3 of the national domestic product, or let's say the GDP, national GDP, was out of oil and gas in Russia, 1/3. So how they're going to survive with the economic sanctions in place right now? It's a very difficult situation for Russians. Their international banking accounts have been frozen. Even the business cards, like credit cards, they are not being able to use in the one country. And the general public have already started experiencing hardships in their life, right? Like the grocery stores are empty right now. They don't have money at all right now to buy the things, because the market is completely shut down for the Russians right now. So this is a kind of reality going on in this war. So now coming to the question of how this war going to end, then I can see there are three possible scenarios. One, Ukraine not being a member of European Union and NATO. That's what Vladimir Putin wants ultimately. Second, Russia withdrawing its military troops voluntarily, and which is likely as well, because Russian government may not be able to maintain its expenses to the military in this war. I was reading in one of the news articles that Russia is spending 20 millions of dollars every day for their troops, only for this fight. Just every day. Every day, $20 million in this war for their troops. So, with the economic sanctions in place, Russia will not be able to afford such a huge amount of expenses for the military forces to keep sustaining through this war. And definitely, Russia has to come to an end. Voluntarily, they have to withdraw if Ukraine keeps fighting longer and longer. Third scenario is Ukraine winning this war with the support of the West, NATO, which is very difficult at the moment. However, Ukraine can manage Russian troops pushed back to their country. It's possible with the support of the Western world, NATO members, let's say, and European Union. It's a possible like that. That's what I think about while talking about this war. Having said that, still this is unclear how far the war gonna go and how this war gonna land. Now the peace talks are ongoing right now between Russia and Ukraine. So hopefully in a couple of days there will be clearer picture, and I will be able to share more on that. Please stay tuned. I hope you have a great time there. Stay healthy and safe. Thank you.